First, let me thank my wife for the invitation. Most people would say, I hear a lot of ministers, preachers say, oh, she was talking about me, but I'm here to say, yeah, she's talking about me. And normally I would ask her not to mention my education because I'm proud of it, but nothing can beat working for the Lord.
That's right.
But I thought it was fitting for her to mention it today for our graduates and future graduates.
Amen.
But I must ask, how many high school graduates throughout the congregation we have? Raise your hand. How many of you have PhD? All of you. Public, high school, diploma.
He got us with that one.
My subject today is the enemy called average. The enemy called average. The author of many of the songs is in doubt or unknown. 73 are attributed to David. The songs do not appear to be arranged in any discernible order or according to any particular timeline. But they were written over a period of time in the Israelite history, ranging from the time of Moses through the end of the Babylonian captivity. The purpose of this text is to show the believers that the Lord directs the steps of the godly and delights in every detail of our way. Allow me to say to the graduates, I am both honored and humbled to be with you today. Your graduation represents a great accomplishment for you. It also moves you quickly to the next chapter of your life. You are to be commended for the long days and nights you have worked hard, for the incredible steadfastness you have demonstrated among your toughest times. Now I'm sure that each of you have a story full of joy and full of pain. It is a tale that speaks of the journey that pushed you from your humble beginnings as a kindergarten to your honored beginnings as a graduate of college. Amen. Look at you. You're now fulfilling the dreams not only of you and your parents, but also your ancestors who refuse to think of themselves as second class. This marvelous journey has been inspiring. Indeed, it has taught you some valuable lessons. But there is now a question that arises. What's next?
All right.
Now that you have passed all the tests, fulfilled the credits, donned the cap and gown, and stand ready to move on with life, what now? Where will this moment direct you? What is your path? Where is your destination? With these questions in mind, allow me some time to share 3 ideas pertaining to our subject, the enemy called average. The first idea, you must know an enemy is waiting for you. Our second idea, you need to make sure your pan is big enough. You're going to understand what I'm talking about in a little bit. The third and most important idea is keep the faith. Now let's consider our first idea. You must know an enemy is waiting for you. As you go out in this world, I want to warn you that there's an enemy waiting for you the moment you have finished college. It has consumed many victims and delayed many dreams. It is a nice enemy dressed in camouflage of complacency. It is an enemy called average. them that they are too tired to go to the next level. It drains its prey of motivation and determination to achieve the vision that has been deposited within their hearts. You have come too far and experienced too much to be simply another victim of average. The mere fact that you're sitting here is a testament that you are not acquainted with average. You see, average is a proponent of simply being on the top of the bottom or the bottom of the top. And today, you, as a graduate, cannot be satisfied until you're on the top of the top.
Yes.
We live in a dualistic world now. The first side of the world is made of make-believe. It is a world not much different than the world of Goofy and Daffy Duck. It is a world where the illusions of fast money, bling bling, and being bout it are all popular. I mean, make-believe is big bucks, and it's destroying a generation. Make-believe has students thinking it's cool to give up on higher education to live the thug life. It is a sedated, prescribed by average that produce the deadly side effects that's called mediocrity. On the other side, however, there's a world where you cannot be as good as, but you must be better than. That's right. It is a world where excellence is expected without excuses. It is a world that looks for the best and the brightest and the most creative minds to fill the seats of our corporate jobs. It is a world that speaks language of success and refuses to tolerate average. Once you have left college, both sides of the world summons you. The question is, which side will you answer? How do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Have you gone through the struggle of this graduation only to embrace average? Or have you determined within yourself to stir up the gifts within you? 2 Timothy 1:6. Or to reach your full potential? With this question in mind, let's consider our second idea of making sure your pan is not too small. All right. I'm reminded of a story of two men fishing with their sons in separate boats. The father and son of one team in one boat caught nothing but frustration. Yet the father noticed the other duo was catching huge fish, only to toss them back in the water. Frustration now has given way to confusion. So the first father questioned the other father why they was tossing their huge fish back after catching them. This was his explanation. He said, we only have a small frying pan. We have to throw the fish back. These fishermen teach us valuable lessons. You only get in life what you prepared for. The second fisherman and his son were victims of average. There are prospects waiting for you. Military services. Circular or corporate jobs, etc. But is your pan too small? Every professor who annoyed you during your college time was probably trying to tell you that your pan was too small. Every friend that encouraged you to study rather than party was probably trying to tell you that your pan was too small. When your parents sent you to college daily to attain an education, they knew that your pan was too small.
Yes.
That's why they pushed you so hard to get an education, even sometimes upsetting you, because they knew that what God and life had for you, your pan was too small. What will you do now? Hanging with average should not be an option.
That's right.
You must put the same, or you must put shame to all of those who said you will never be anything. You must silence every naysayer and hater to declare within yourself. Your place is on the top of the top. It doesn't matter what personal challenge you face. It doesn't matter what category people try to contain you in. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to.
Yes, sir.
As long as you use the hateration as your motivation for your education. I remember when I was in the 7th grade. This part get a little emotional. I was in the 7th grade. I failed twice. I failed the 7th grade twice. Teachers told me that I was special. So they tested me for special education. When they didn't know how to deal with me, they put me in a category to justify the evaluation. But what was so significant to me was I passed the test. They let my situation, they try to use it to determine my destination.
All right. Come on now.
But I passed the test. In high school, they told me I would never go to college. But I used the hateration for my motivation. Yes, average was calling my name. But I ignored it. And I graduated before my original class by attending summer schools each summer. After I graduated, I worked in the factory for a while, joined the military, and attained 4 college degrees. I can think back on a time, y'all don't mind me to share this with you. My daughter, my baby girl, came down in my study one day and she was looking around on the walls. And she said, "Daddy, how come you got so many degrees?" At the time, I had just decided to retire from the workforce back in 2014. She said, "You got all these degrees, but you're not doing anything with them." I said, "Well, baby, you missed the point. I did this so I could have options to choose what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it. Not put myself in a position where I had to do it because I had to do it." There's a difference. They said I would never survive graduate school. Once again, I heard average calling my name. But I studied and completed 2 master's degrees. I used hateration as my motivation. They said I was incapable of postgraduate for work for a doctor's degree. So then I sent my wife to a doctoral program. I didn't want to deal with that part. When I saw her typing papers, what was that, a 30-page paper, I said, no. That's not for me. Being a preacher of the gospel, I would be remiss if I didn't share this story with you. There was a woman in the Bible who had an issue of blood for 12 years. She had gone from one doctor to another to no avail. She was frustrated and probably about to give up. Yet she heard that Jesus was coming. She was determined that she could no longer live with this issue because to live with it would have made average a welcome guest. When she heard that Jesus was coming, she said to herself, "If I may just touch his garment, I shall be whole." Matthew 9:21. This woman did what society said that could not be done.
sir.
She defeated average
Hallelujah.
through obstacles
Yes, sir.
that were present in her life.
Amen. Amen.
The cultural reality of her day said that this woman with an issue of blood was unclean.
Yes, sir. Come on.
And anyone who touched her also became unclean.
Come on.
Nevertheless, she was determined
Yes,
to
sir.
press on.
Yes,
All right.
In spite of the disciples whose duty it was to protect Jesus. You see, when your mind is made up,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the system says.
Come
It
on.
doesn't matter what people think.
Come on.
The woman moved in from the rear,
Yes.
bent low enough to crawl through the crowd, running over. She pressed her way through.
Yes, sir.
You may have come through the rear. You may not have had everything everybody else had.
That's right. That's right.
You didn't give up, or you didn't grow up on the right side of the track. That was my problem. Some of y'all know what it means. But you were determined to get down to business and graduate.
Yes, sir. Amen.
You crawled, you cried, you stretched,
Yeah.
and you prayed.
Yes.
But you arrived because you pressed.
Yes, sir.
When the woman touched Jesus, he realized immediately, someone touched me.
Yeah.
She drew something from him.
Yeah.
His disciples tried to dismiss it
Come on.
as just normal, a normal rug from the assembly of the multitude trying to be near Jesus
Yeah.
as he was a celebrity. Let me suggest today that Jesus knows the difference
Hallelujah.
between a rug and a touch.
Yes.
Average is being content.
Yeah.
Average is being content with rubbing.
Yes, sir. Come
Because
on.
rubbing doesn't require discipline and relationship.
Amen.
Average simply acquires what it can get with minimum effort. But a touch is not average.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
A touch is not average.
Yeah.
A touch points to a story.
Uh-huh.
The story of your journey
Yeah.
that took you years
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
before you arrived here.
God Almighty.
When Jesus saw this woman's faith, he declared her faith made her whole.
Yes, sir.
So keep the faith,
Yes, sir.
Amen.
which is our third and final idea.
Amen.
The Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. That's Hebrews 11:1.
Yes, sir.
Faith is believing I can.
Uh-huh.
Believing I can. I can was my personal motivation
Yes.
as a teen.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
I took it and I made it personal.
Yeah.
Nascent. I flipped it. I can spell backwards. Everything I did, when I got stuck, I felt like I was getting in a bind, I just said to me, nascent, nascent. I can remember running track. Back then, I was a pretty good track star.
All right.
And I could get to a point where I'm about to chase somebody down. And I start saying, Nacy, Nacy. And they get to looking back, I done took them off their focus. Now they focused on me. So you take I can and you do it how it fit you. But it caused me back then, it meant a lot. I was number 7 in the state of South Carolina for half an hour. But it took years for me to see that. Growing up, I was in 7th place. But now, later on in life, I said, no, wait a minute. That was for the whole state.
That's right.
Nacy. I don't care what you pursue. Nacy. I don't care what the young man pursue. Nacy.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Because you can.
Yes, sir.
Even when no one else believes.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
It is seeing yourself
Yes,
beyond what everyone else sees.
That's
Lord,
right.
hallelujah.
I've come today to tell you that if nobody else sees what you see,
All right.
don't you stop seeing.
Uh-huh.
If nobody else can achieve, don't you stop believing and don't stop achieving.
Amen. Yes, sir.
You've been preparing for this moment. And today is not the end, but it is the beginning of greater things ahead. Press your way until all generations behind you are convinced that average is not an option. Press your way
Yeah.
until You can say that like Apostle Paul. I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:14. You're not pressing to be on the top of the bottom. But the high calling is the top of the top. For every test passed, for every enemy defeated, every challenge conquered, every lesson learned, every opportunity seized. If you experience pain, endure it. Every privilege you get, honor it. For every blessing, thank God for it. As I leave you today, remember, no matter what you accomplish from this day forward, say thank you. For the parents who brought you, for the professors who taught you, say thank you. For the one who died on Calvary, say thank you. For the one who arose from the grave, say thank you. For the one who has all power in his hands, say thank you. Every time you defeat that enemy called average, say thank you. And if I may leave as a soldier by a great army, even though I honor the effort, but as a soldier by a great army, you graduates, I salute you.